Hey everyone, welcome to Who Gives a Shit, the podcast that asks the most important question. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, so we got a guest from our listener base. We got Captain BlackBread. How's it going, man?
It's going all right. I mean, I got half the day off from work, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Nice. So you came on the show because you've been calling to us for a while and you just asked. And
yeah, I just asked.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised at where you can get just by asking. You know, old saying, closed mouths don't get fed. And I thought, why the hell not?
Yeah, I got my whole career by asking because I just tweeted at Dick Masterson and, I need advice with this broad. Can I get on the show? And he's like, yeah. And he sent me the Discord and now I found out that I'm not gay. So
I was actually going to ask about that. So,
yeah, man. So
you're gay, then you're not gay, and
yeah, one dick later, I was able to determine that I am not, in fact, a homosexual. And it's a funny story just because of how awkward and gross it is. But I got physically ill afterwards, so I figured that was a pretty good tell that I'm not gay. And I would like to add that I'm actually super straight because I scientifically proved that I'm not gay by fucking a man in the ass and not feeling anything from it. So I'm actually straighter than everybody.
Wait, were you actually able to bust a nut?
No, man. So how it worked, it was like an hour and a half. It was fucking ridiculous, and I wasn't busting. So what I did was I closed my eyes and I thought about an ex-girlfriend and I did nut, so he would leave.
I actually had that same problem with this chick that, like, she was pretty hot with her clothes on. When she took them off, she looked like fucking Grimace. And I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I gotta... Well, we're here now.
Grimace is a chick body type. I've described a lot of chicks as looking like the Grimace. I don't know why this body type crops up every now and then because it's so unfortunate. You're built like a gumdrop with tiny little spindly legs. They're out there, man.
I never had body problems with my broads, but every once in a while I would, have no shame and just lay with one that looks like that monster from the Goonies. What the fuck is his name?
Sloth?
The guy that they keep locked up and they feed
that's Sloth.
Sloth? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of sloth-looking bitches in my history, unfortunately.
You gotta start somewhere, kind of work your way up the ladder. You just kind of get better at it, and then, yeah.
Well, that's what I did, and then eventually I was like, you know what? It's such a waste of time to pretend that these holes have any personalities, so I'm just gonna go to a titty bar and just pay them. And I find out that's what works for me. And I'm happy as a motherfucker this week, Adam. And the reason for that is, as my county just recently, last week, decriminalized prostitution.
What?
Yeah, we are one of the only counties in Michigan that decriminalized prostitution.
So what, if they just hose out all over the streets now? Is like Craigslist all fucked up? Like, what's going on?
So how it works is if you get caught with a hoe, you just have to pay a $2,000 fine. Not illegal. It's illegal for them to put you in jail over it now.
Okay.
That's a step in the right direction. But, if you have a video camera, then it becomes legal. All you have to do, bring a video camera, you give her $1, and then there you go. It's not prostitution anymore.
Well, I already have video cameras set up anyway. I have a whole collection of hookers that I've laid with.
I'll assume they probably know about that, and I won't ask any questions.
No, they probably think it's a baby monitor for my nurse, so they won't even ask. But I'm just peachy, buddy. You know, I can finally live my life as a whore and I don't have to hide my sexuality like some kind of common criminal.
So you said that
And
your what was it, to make a wish or whatever it was, to go on a coke pen bender with Charlie Sheen, right?
yeah, and stab some hookers. I would love to do that.
Jesus, CJ, the man. Oh, what the fuck?
But you know, that's somewhat illegal, quote unquote. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation won't honor it for me. But Charlie, if you're listening, bud, it would make my life if I could go on a coke bender with Mr. Tiger Blood himself.
Winning.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, you should try and get that legalized. Just send a letter to Joe Biden. You know, he'll sign anything.
It's true, but you know, the last thing I want is coke to get legalized because then that means it's just going to be overpriced.
Well, right now it's in that nice little gray area where they can't fully legalize it, but it's not really that against the law to do it either. Really, man, that's a good day for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, how often you get hookers, CJ? Jesus, now you got me curious.
How often?
Yeah.
It's been a while because of the pandemic, but I would say before then, I would go to the strip club maybe 4 times a year, and I actually have a contact from there. And when you get a girl's number, you can pretty much have her on call if you're willing to pay up.
Damn, okay. And so every once in a while, you're just sort of like, well, you know what? I'm going to go to the strip club today and then go fuck some stripper.
Yeah, and it's really awesome when you have her on call because you don't have to deal with the retarded Chris Brown music blaring in your ear. And also, you can just get drunk at home and you don't have to pay $40 for 3 beers. So it really is the better way to do it. So my advice to people out there is if you're gonna indulge yourself with the whore, um, go to the strip club for like the first couple times, and then eventually you'll find your favorite one, and you'll get familiar with maybe one or two of them, and they will give you your number because strippers love house calls because you know, I tip extra for those because I find that if you put a little bit more incentive into it, they really work at it. And it's really the only field where women actually do work, I've come to find.
No shit.
Yeah,
that sounds
pretty great, man.
That sounds a lot more. That sounds a lot more reliable than like how how a lot of chicks are like trying to do it right now, which is where they're like, yeah, we can fuck. We'll just meet up. Send me just PayPal me some money, and then we'll meet up. Or they say something like, I don't have gas.
How people are trying to pull this shit these days?
Yeah. It's like, dude,
yeah.
I wasn't born fucking yesterday, but you know, this was back when everything was starting up. And
so
in case anybody's curious,
on that note, allegedly, there's a site out there called skipthegame.com. Now, I wouldn't know about this because I've never been there. But I hear that if you go there, that some girls have this thing where they make you pay a 50% up front. That's a total fucking scam. Do not ever do that. Only pick the girls that say that they'll take money afterwards. And I never have ever paid for sex, but I imagine if I were to do it, that I'd do it cash only because that basically certifies that the hooker has to be at your place before she can get paid.
Yeah, that tracks to me.
Yeah.
Hey, while
Yeah, what you got? What you got, Captain?
All right, so I gotta throw this out there. Like, I probably shouldn't address this, but I'm going to anyway. So a lot of times, online arguments, people look at me, they're like, "This dude's an incel, and he's never ever fucking touched a pussy in his life." And I'll tell you what, it's quite the opposite. I have something called like confidence, and that gets you a long way. Chicks dig confidence, so have a lot of that. Don't be like, oh, geez, fucking don't have no fear. Just walk up there like you're a fucking freight train going through a pass through town. You're here. You're fucking straight. You're straight. Okay, never mind. This fucking joke's going nowhere. But I just wanted to throw it out there. No, I'm not an incel, even though I
You
look
just got
like
a beard
your
like
average
one.
incel.
Yeah, you gotta be the key to getting broads is you gotta be misogynistic because deep down, all these women hate themselves way more than you could hate them, and rightfully so. I mean, most of these women are garbage, and they should feel bad all the time. But you just gotta reaffirm all the negative feelings that they have about themselves, and they'll fall right into you.
Friend from
I
my
always
extended
found
friend group does exactly that.
I never had any issue picking up chicks whenever I really had cool stuff going on. Like when I was at the peak of my hustling career, that was actually a wild time. There was just chicks everywhere that would love to be hanging out, but I was usually had like business to take care of, and it made me a real picky bastard in that particular time of my life, where if a chick wasn't at least talented in something, I didn't even want to be around her. Like that was actually a cool thing to be picky about. Makes you have interesting company at least.
Man,
But
what's pussy like after prison? Did that change the dynamic any in terms of quality bitches you're getting?
well, it definitely, I'll tell you what, right when you get out, the desire to go rectify your situation is strong. It is very strong. And, but I don't know, like for me, I've chilled out enough where I can kind of like find what I'm looking for, that kind of thing. And so, but also I've learned a lot of patience. So, I have enough things going on that, yeah, like for me that like I'll take little breaks from time to time. Like that's kind of how it would go for me because like sometimes I'd be working so damn much and then working on other things that I'm just too fucking wiped out to even try to get like to put that much extra effort in it. In all honesty, and man, that would hurt a lot of people's feelings actually.
Well, I definitely stand by your sentiment not to put too much effort into it, which is why I'm inclined to prostitution. And it's to the point now where really it's the only way I can, get off. Because I find normal women to just be really boring.
Well, it's nice work if you can get it. Like, there are interesting chicks out there that are fun to be around. Usually it's on a clock or something like that because chicks are prone to drama. That's something that I found to be universal in my life. But like I don't know. Find like dealing with broads is weird these days, it seems like.
It definitely is. This has been a great segment of Pussy Talk with Adam and Cripple Jesus, but I
Yeah,
think
no
we should
shit,
get into
Captain.
who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, we definitely should. All right. So, Captain BlackBread, you had a topic you were bringing in, right? What you got, my man?
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. So in my cliff notes, I forgot to actually put what the article was called. But basically, uh, black girl has to cut her hair off. I don't know. Was it coach forces a black girl to cut her hair during a game? So this is classic clickbait. You get into it, and you understand that she didn't even have to cut her hair. She just had braids in her hair, and and I doubt that it had anything to do with the color of her skin at any point. Uh, So further in, they say it was all pulled back, including the beads, but then the girl throws herself under the bus by saying that she had them stuffed into her shirt. So at that point, tie it back with the rest of your hair, you know? So I also found it funny. This wasn't an article, by the way. This was a video. And the reporter refers to the girl and her dad as the parents when there's only one. So that had to be pretty awkward. And
yeah,
so the school
I did see this story, and I was curious about it on whether or not where her hair actually was against the rules. And if people want to be dicks about it, technically, yes. Really, apparently, the way she had it, it's not that big a deal. Because, you know, she's got long braids and there's like a couple beads at the end of each braid. And that's not really going to just like fly off and, you know, gouge someone in the eye particularly. And they're playing softball. Like, it's not like they're playing tackle football or some crazy shit like that. So that really the other coach is being a hoe and is like, hey, that's against the rules. And then tried to get the umpire to make this chick cut her hair. And I mean, that's lame. That very much goes against the spirit of no snitching. So there's something in here that I don't like.
You know what I'm most surprised by? I'm most surprised by at the story is that her dad's in the picture. That really surprises me.
I didn't want to say anything about that.
Oh, I can make racist jokes all day. I got caramel strippers on my phone for days, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, CJ's like handicapped. As far as like the identity politics, like disadvantaged pyramid, handicapped people are actually pretty high on there because they're pretty obviously discriminated against like by the universe. So it's really hard for, you know, these types of, you know, these modern times to stick to CJ that much. So yeah, he'll say it, man. It's a fantastic dynamic.
Well, you know, I really think the only way you can get higher is if it's a white chick in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
I do know a couple of them. But they're too retarded to articulate, and everything they say just sounds like Walt Jr., so nobody pays attention to them.
So, you know, I was actually thinking of talking about this topic again. Yeah, because it's been in the news. John Oliver had a segment about black people's hair. Did you see this?
I watched a little bit of it. I watched like 7 minutes in on YouTube, and I think it proves that not everything said in a British accent is smarter.
At the very end of the thing, they were like, oh, you want to know about black people's hair? How about Google it or go fuck yourself? I'm like, damn, that's a little aggressive. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're really having a nuanced take on this, guys. So there is this thing about black chicks' hair that is a very touchy topic for a lot of people in like the, I don't know, in the social stratosphere or however the hell you want to call it. So it always seems notable. So just because, even though this chick was breaking the rules and some dude was being an ass about it, the thing to focus on, they're like, can you believe they told this black woman to cut her hair?
How dare you tell a black person to do anything, you fucking racist?
Well, I mean, they're sensitive about it. I can see why they want to run this as a story. I get where this came from.
I'll be honest. The black chicks that I've been with and I dated, you know, one of the first things I told them to do was stop using black people hair products. Because as soon as they do that, it starts to smell better. Yeah, there's something, I think it's actually, because I looked it up because I was curious, there's actually sulfur in most of those black people hair product things, which is why it smelled weird on some people.
Like Satan's asshole. I don't know, some of those products are fucking stout, and I know that there's a shitload of money in it. I was watching an episode of The Prophet, and these guys had like an 11-to-1 return on their shampoo line. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? that's nuts that they're able to get that much money out of like hair products. And it's big business, man. There's a lot of money getting thrown around in it. You'd be surprised at how much they pay for all the hair trimmings from long hair in India. Like that's like a prime wig material.
Now I know why that one chick Aisha smelled like curry the whole time. It makes sense now.
Oh my God.
You don't think it has anything to do with them rubbing cow shit in their hair, do you? Because apparently that's a thing now.
What?
That's
holy shit! Okay. Really?
Who's doing this?
Yeah. So there's a couple of news podcasts to listen to, and India, they're so you know how like one of their saints is a cow, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to build an immunity to COVID-19 by smearing cow shit all over themselves. This is a real thing.
Well, the sheer fact that it's a non-zero number of people doing this hurts me a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm losing faith.
Yeah,
right, what else?
I'm not sure if it's a large number of people, but if it's a story, somebody did it. At least one.
That's bad enough.
Well, I guess they ran out of holes to shit in, so they got to spread the shit on their hair now. I guess that's the next step.
I guess so.
Reminder, though, the people that think they're smart enough to fool you into thinking that they're an IRS agent, too.
You know, the story that you brought in, Captain, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, like, I don't know, like, this is such a who gives a shit story, because really it's just about some chick that got mad that she got called on to follow the rules, and the rules are kind of lame or whatever, but it is like a really big non-issue, and like, in general, chicks are going to be weird with the way they want to fucking wear their hair and shit like that. And there's going to be some that break the rules because they might not even be aware of what they are or anything. So it is such a non-story, right?
And at the end, she even said, like, oh, and after that, I just took him out. And then it wasn't a big deal. It's like, oh, yeah. This story had a conclusion. This has no reason to be a news story, and on top of that, it's above the conflict going on in the Middle East right now. It was above that story.
Yeah, CJ and I had very briefly talked about that. They're like, "Hey, are we bringing in Israel and stuff?" And he's like, and CJ's like, "That even talking about it is too much." So next,
yeah, man. I mean, I want to make it in the Hollywood industry, so obviously, go Team Israel, kill all those rock-throwing Palestinians. I don't give a shit. But out of all the, international conflicts and wars that we're involved in, I can't think of one that's been the most long and the most pointless than that one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, let's get into our next topic. You care to do yours, CJ?
Yeah. So I want to start out by playing our favorite game. Guess that outlet.
Oh, okay.
Now the tip I'm going to give you is this is a British publication, and it is not the BBC, but it is the big one.
Okay.
The big black cock.
And the headline is, does Sir Paul McCartney's eye yoga actually work?
Is it Fox?
I'm gonna go with the Daily Mail.
Nope, it's the Telegraph.
The Telegraph. Okay, so all right, so Sir Paul McCartney does eye yoga. Am I tracking that right?
Yeah, and would you care to take a stab at what the fuck? Yeah, would you care to take a stab at what you think eye yoga is? Maybe give me an exercise.
Okay, so you had said you were going to talk about this, so I actually didn't look into this, but I am guessing that you're basically giving yourself a bunch of field sobriety tests over and over and over again, and then they claim that it helps your coordination with your eyes. Is that about right?
The exercise video for this is so fucking funny. I shit you not. The goal is to just look cross-eyed. Like that's every exercise. Is to just look like a cross-eyed inbred retard. And apparently it's supposed, according to Paul McCartney, it's supposed to have the same effect that eating carrots on a regular basis does for your eyesight.
I think I'd rather just eat carrots.
Yeah, I mean, I brought this in because it seems like they're taking it seriously. Like going into this, I thought they were gonna be like, "Oh, Paul McCartney is an idiot. Look at this weird eye yoga thing he invented." But no, it seems to me that they're actually trying to find some scientific notion behind this.
Did Paul McCartney invent this eye yoga? Is this something that he did?
Yeah, he is the pioneer.
Oh, cultural appropriation. What's wrong with this fucking guy?
Well, he's a member of the Beatles. We can start there. That's another reason I bought this in, is because I've always thought the Beatles were a bunch of, uppity clowns who just have inflated self-importance.
Look, man, I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to a couple of bands. And if you ask me, Nirvana and the Beatles are the two most overrated bands of all time. They make good music, but they are very overrated, man. They're like, people act like they're the voice of a generation or something like that. And it's just fucking music, man. A generation of people has a very nuanced opinion about shit, and they just were a band that was around. But
something unsufferable about those two bands is chicks my age now will just buy the t-shirt. They buy the Nirvana logo, the smiley face one with the X's for the eyes, and then they also buy the Abbey Road cover, when they're walking across the street. And you ask these bitches, you're like, do you even know what band that is? And they don't. They fucking wear it for the logo because they think it's vintage hipster bullshit or whatever. And it's garbage. And I don't think it's an unpopular opinion what you said there, Adam.
People are scared to say it though, man. And you can't even have this conversation with some people because they'll immediately tell you, they're like, look, man, when you listen to it, you just don't understand, man. And I'm like, no, I understand just fine. It's really not that great, bro. So, all right. Would this get anywhere if this guy wasn't famous as fuck? I really fucking doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is, to try to make Paul McCartney seem like deep. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that his own PR team did, because this is such a who gives a fuck, nothing of a story that it just looks like an ad to me for Paul McCartney.
Yeah, and the Beatles were bigger than Jesus or what the fuck ever. It's not like this dude really needs any success in anything else. He already made it. I don't know. It is a pretty good who gives a shit thing, because
by the way, I could not find
Paul McCartney these days.
I want to I just thought I would add this. I could not find any practice like practitioners or like what do they call them, like yoga masters or whatever, yoga teachers?
Yeah, like
I could not find. Yeah, I could not find any gurus or any people that practice this eye yoga, for that matter.
Hold on, I'm gonna appoint myself a guru of eye yoga right now, and the real masters can pop their eyes out of their sockets and swing them around and shit, and that's a really important part. and you can learn how to tie them in different knots and stuff, and that really helps you. And that's like shoving 10 carrots down your throat. You're getting all that nutrition.
Just watch a Looney Tunes. Watch a Looney Tunes cartoon, and it'll teach you how to do eye yoga.
Yeah, give it a shot sometime. I mean, you don't know until you try it, right?
God. Well, fucking eye yoga. All right. Well, let's get out of talking about eye yoga and get into CJ's favorite segment, To Catch a Redditor. All right. So let's do the To Catch a Redditor about eye yoga right here.
From r/offbeat, TC Dowie writes, I actually think this works. I've had a lazy right eye since childhood, and I came across this wrestling trainer, the real kind, who gave me several eye exercises to do. Basically, holding my hand vertically, touching my nose, look right, look left, move hand to full arm extension while focusing on the thumb, move hand back to arm, nose, repeat 10 times. My vision, which has always had a little double vision glitch, cleared up in like 3 days. I do it once a week now, every Monday. When I stopped doing it for a while, my double vision came back, and now I don't forget.
So that's what this eye yoga is supposed to be, some sort of like eye-looking exercise. That sounds really boring and insufferable, though.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how long you have to do it, right? I mean, even a full minute of that, just strain the fuck out of your eyes. You'd get a headache from it or something.
So, yeah, that eye yoga does sound fucking shitty. Well, let's get to the next To Catch a Redditor.
From r/lockdown.
Oh, wait, that's one that we decided not to bring in. Here is one about the Rich Dickman show.
User Graham writes, she shit on his cock?
That's the kind of fine, high-class individual that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. And who could have thunk that HR would have a problem with this guy? Now, we had a couple of other issues prepped, but we didn't just full bring them in. So here's one about Trader Joe's getting rid of their mask mandate.
From r/lockdown skepticism, Viking Eric writes, businesses follow the dollars, always. They do what they perceive their customers want. The Trader Joe's audience is, of course, the most privileged and wokest demographic out there, but they're also the ones with the most vaccine uptake. And enough of them have finally had enough of the garbage, too.
What the fuck is a Trader Joe's audience? Can you explain that?
I don't know, the fucking hipsters that shop at Trader Joe's. I guess that's the Trader Joe's audience. I don't know, and I don't necessarily know what the numbers are about these people getting vaccinated and shit like that. But you know what? I bet you they thought they could just get away with it. So they're like, these people, they probably won't get vaccinated anyway. If they have, they've had plenty of time. So how about fuck it?
We don't have them around here, so it's not my problem. But even if I did, I wouldn't go into any company that has a policy like that.
Well, Trader Joe's just got rid of their mask mandate altogether. It's like one of the first grocery stores where you can just walk in that bitch.
Yeah, but the reason I brought the article in, because the catch is you have to prove that you're vaccinated to be in there.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking lame.
Yeah, that's why I was going to bring it in, because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think that's invasive, man. Yeah. Go for it, man.
Okay, so I had my first fucking nightmare about this shit, and it was that, like, a store wasn't letting me in. They're like, so you get to be fully vaccinated to enter the store. I'm like, I need groceries. Like, you can't come in unless you're fully vaccinated. I'm like, fuck, man. I mean, it's enough. It was enough. I wouldn't call it like a real fucking nightmare. It didn't scare the shit out of me or anything, but it was like a reality check that we're kind of headed in that direction. At least I feel like.
You think so? I mean, we still got Fourth Amendment stuff, man. Right to privacy. So how much are people going to really let people pry into their lives about this type of shit?
Oh,
we're
we didn't have a right to privacy when the Patriot Act passed right after 9/11. So you could say that we have a Fourth Amendment, but we really don't. Man.
Well, it deals with medical records. That's a slightly different thing. I mean, really, there's so many court cases going on about this shit right now that I mean, a lot of them are pretty superfluous and lame, but the right to privacy is still something that people are going to have an issue with. And, you know, people are going to wonder at what point can they just not have to worry about this shit anymore because it's hurting their bottom line. And I can see that coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm certainly not shopping at any business that has a policy like that because I'm already crippled. I don't need to be retarded too, so I'm never getting vaccinated.
Yeah, another thing that I was thinking about bringing in this week was that woke CIA ad that that thing is pretty fucking bad. Hold on.
Which one now? I did the Latino one?
Yeah, the one where they're like, I'm a cisgendered millennial with general anxiety disorder. And I'm uniquely
Latina
me.
Woman selling crack to the black communities everywhere.
Hold on, let's see what Reddit has to say about that fucking ad.
From r/politics, Sex is Fun 1986 writes, while many leftists would agree with the problems of performative progressives, I would argue that there's a world of difference in the ways they criticize it. I think it's similar to the whole super straight thing. Sure, if you don't want to date a trans person, that's fine. No one's trying to force you to do it. I personally think it's a bit limiting, but you do you. If you keep making a point about it and going on and on about it, that's starting to become something else. Sometimes it's not what you say or even how you say it, but why you're saying it.
Huh. So, I guess they're talking about like performative progressivism or something like that. Like, you know, the CIA, I imagine they're not a very progressive institution with some of the things that they do at the end of the day, if you look at it in its entirety.
Well, I mean, they're putting black people in jail, and that's what Kamala Harris wants. So I guess it's progressive.
Damn. Okay.
But, you know, I just think it's funny that a murder agency is using woke propaganda in their ads.
I'm kind of curious as to the caliber of people that they're trying to attract. Like, I don't even know. Maybe they're in a different zone and they're like, look, we need more keyboard warriors, like right now. We have an ad that we think will be 13% more effective than our other usual bullshit. We're going viral, sons.
And now that you can get rid of the dislikes on YouTube videos, you can go viral for all the right reasons, and you'll never have that red bar there. So that's an option now. You can just get rid of your criticism.
Yeah, no shit, right? Well, let's get out of To Catch a Redditor. And let's talk about what I'm bringing in this week, and that is The Rich Dickman Show. So, who gives a shit about The Rich Dickman Show? Well, he's got like 10.5 people that listen to his show, that like his show, so that's his audience. But he gained another person that listens, and that was one of the co-hosts, HR ladies, for the company that he works for. And so, at least that's what I'm assuming happened. And either way, the company had a problem with this dude being a co-host on this podcast. And they basically told him that he needed to stop doing that podcast and take down every episode that he was on of The Rich Dickman Show, which is like 107 episodes this guy was on. And this guy was basically forced to cancel himself or lose his job.
Yeah, this is very close to both of us. Not only because, we love Ram, he brought this whole operation together. I mean, I would have never met Adam if it wasn't for him. But also, it reminded me of the time that the feminist cunts tried to cancel me and get my Twitter shut down. And because I don't have a future, I don't have a job. I just smoke, gamble, and fuck hookers. I could tell them, fuck you, because you're not. What are you gonna do? Take my government money away? Yeah, call the government and see how that works. You don't want to be on hold for longer than 2 minutes, so I know you're not gonna do that. But with this guy's situation, I couldn't help but feel for him, man.
So the reason I want to talk about the Rich Dickman show is because this is a weird one to have it happen to someone so close to you, to actually see someone get canceled over a fucking podcast. Like, that I don't understand. If someone has like a podcast or show that they do or something like that, they're doing that as a hobby. And I don't think you should really try to go after I don't think anyone's livelihood should get involved in something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cancerous mindset that you don't enjoy your life and you're offended, so therefore the other person's life has to be stopped because you don't like what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's a big problem in other countries.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by other countries? Like, I know that just straight up being a busybody in the UK is like a hobby for some people.
Well, specifically, like, off the top of my head, you guys are familiar with Count Dankula, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you already know about the whole Nazi pug thing. So he can't get a job anywhere. Nobody will hire him because they'll be like, oh, they'll recognize the name. They'll be like, oh, you're the Nazi pug man. And it's all fucked from there. Nobody will hire him at all. So that can't be the only person that something like that's happened to, because their freedom of speech laws are very skewed.
What's scary to me, though, is it's floating over to... Now, I'm not even trying to be an asshole because we're not big podcasters either. But, like, the Rich Dickman show, it's not like a Joe Rogan's podcast, okay? It's not number one to the top of the leaderboard. So it fucking scares me that this bitch is such a busybody that she went and actively looked for a podcast that she didn't like, hit the download button on at least probably 3 or 4 episodes, listen to a couple minutes of it to determine whether it was offensive or not, and thought, I want to get this guy fired, so I'm going to pitch an ultimatum to the boss.
How much power does this fucking chick really have?
I don't know. You'd be surprised at what you can get if you just cause a big enough stink. And it does seem like a complete waste of time to fuck with the Rich Dickman show. And I mean, I like the show, but it's not like the hugest podcast in the universe or anything like that. Definitely nothing that's worth trying to blow up someone's life over. I don't understand, like, and also there's no way that they had to know to look for this, because it's not like this guy ever talked about what company he worked for. He talked about what field he was in, but no one really knew where this guy worked. And so it came from the inside of someone realizing who this guy was and having it get big back around. Someone from the outside didn't cause a stink. It was someone from the inside that caused a stink, just being a fucking busybody. I got a real problem with that. Like,
yeah, the amount of effort that this woman had to put into ruining this guy's life or attempting to, it's fucking disturbing that she still decided to go through with it. And it's even more fucked in the head that she thinks she's morally righteous for doing so.
Yeah, that shit is so fucking messed up. So, be sure to go to richdickman.com. Look at the Rich Dickman show. They could use it. But they lost like 107 episodes, like more than 2 years worth of episodes, just because this chick caused a big enough of a stink. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, episodes with you, me, and Dick Masterson, a whole bunch of guests. And some of my favorite times in the podcasting were on the Rich Dickman show. So I'm really going to miss those episodes.
Yeah, I got a couple that I just happen to still have downloaded. Now I'm like, well, fuck, now I can't delete these things. What the fuck?
Just do like they did with Biggest Problem and just re-upload them.
Well, I'm not trying to cause any waves for this guy because
you
got someone that's already shown to be willing to be a hoe. And so, I'm like, I don't know, that's not going to come from me.
Okay,
this is a pretty disturbing trend.
The Rich Dickman Show, we give a shit about it. Patreon.com/The Rich Dickman Show. Go there, give them money. It's a good podcast. Give us money too at our Patreon. WGA Shit Show. I got it right this time, motherfucker. Our first episode just came out. We talked about adversity, and you know what? We didn't make any jokes, but it's a pretty fucking good insight on us as people. So if you want to know the man behind the wheelchair and the man behind the cell, listen to that fucking episode.
Yeah, you definitely said it. Is there anything you want to plug, Captain BlackBread?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel by the same name, Captain BlackBread, BlackBread being all one word. I recently had branded myself. I was Multibon Media for a while. And that's not really a name that rolls off the tongue, so I figured it's time for a change. My fiance made me a new icon for that, and that was fucking awesome of her. And yeah, please subscribe. I read awful fan fiction, sometimes alone, sometimes with friends. Do it for the lulz, having a good time. So definitely check that out.
I'd offer to come on your show, but I have the same reading comprehension skill that Maddox does, so I'm not sure you want that in the video.
Damn.
No. Yeah, sorry. I mean, I'd love to have you on. You could spectate.
Oh, yeah, I'll make fun of it, but I fucking read like George Foreman, so it wouldn't go over well. I've never been good at the education side of life.
That's okay, because half the time the people can't write that well either. So you're just reading words that are just usually misspelled. There's a bunch of punctuation errors and shit. Sometimes there's fucking anatomy errors because they don't understand it. You'd have to check them out to understand really what's going on. And if I might recommend one particular story that holds up pretty good, it's Rudolph and Zoe's Christmas Morning Passion. That's one of one of my favorite ones.
Okay, hold on. Say that one more time. Rudolph and Zoe's Christmas Morning Passion.
Yep.
All right. Can you give me like a very quick plot synopsis of the story?
Right. So it's after fucking Christmas. Like they're reindeer having a fucking party and shit, and then Rudolph leaves to give some pendant back to Zoe. And then she's just like, oh, it's like supposed to be sort of heartwarming. And then it all just like starts fucking tumbling downhill from there when you start hearing the character's thought. She's like, oh, he's so daring. He's got a valorous heart of a knight. She's like, she's so caring, daring, and hot. And then it talks about his dick coming out of the sheath. And it's a fucking wild ride. Oh, I love it. It's my favorite.
Now, I think what we all want to know.
You violated the law.
What? Oh. Okay, what do we want to know, CJ?
I think what we all want to know. Does his cock light up red at any point in the story?
No, we made a lot of jokes about his nose lighting up red during all of this, because when he would get embarrassed in like old movies, his nose would light up, right? And And does it flicker like a rave when shit's going down?
What the
You
fuck?
just see a red light going out of her pussy, and it looks like a fucking lighthouse. Well, listen, man, I'm fascinated by the story. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I'll probably smoke weed and just laugh at that shit later.
Yeah, let's get into the last segment we got of the show, and that is the voicemails. So feel free to give us a call at 281-747-6015 and tell us who gives a shit.
Hey guys, so you know, BJ, Dolly Parton was born in Tennessee, not Texas. So she's not one of the best things to come out of Texas. She's one of the best things to come out of Tennessee. Respect Titty, love Titty, don't insult Titty by suggesting it comes from Texas. Number two, on the menthol ban, that one's pretty funny because the 2009 they banned all flavored cigarettes, but they specifically exempted menthol because menthols were consumed primarily by the black community. And now we are banning menthols because they're primarily
So this is from
by the black community. So
this is from Tab Burt. So he's saying that he was talking about the menthol ban and Dolly Parton being born in Tennessee, not Texas. Apparently, you've got some facts wrong there, CJ. So
wait, is Dolly Parton born in Texas?
No, she's born in Tennessee.
Oh, well, her tits are definitely a 10, so that makes sense.
Okay, so I clicked a little tabs. This should actually work now. So let me know if y'all can hear this one.
Hey, it's your fucking boy off Pig. Hans Bratwurst in the fucking voice. Just wanted to call and congratulate you two motherfuckers on a good podcast. You are both goddamn naturals. Love that, to catch a Redditor shit. I can't stand those smoke cunts. They think they're a lot smarter than they fucking are. So cut them down on the reg. It'd be very good. Congrats, CJ, on being a bumder. Hope you stick down a lot of sloppy bottoms.
He's already over with that shit.
Love you, Adam. Cannot wait for more tales of your extended staycation that you had. Have a good one, lad. Suck a dick, or don't. Whatever floats your boat. See you later.
Ironically, I'm the guy that went in prison gay before you. Who would have thought they would have played out like that? But no, it didn't work out for me, bud. I'm over the gay shit.
That was quick. All right, here's our next voicemail of the week.
Hey, man, it's fucking Hans Bratwurst here. I'm hoping this is right number for fucking CJ. Hey, Triple Jesus. Fucking, I just had a thought. I really want to take you fucking snowboarding, man. I saw these little cocksuckers on these fucking weird fucking boards. Like, it was like they were like in a wheelchair, but on a fucking ski. It was really bizarre, man. Anyway,
bobsled,
let's
dude.
fucking do it, bro. I think you're up for it. I don't care that you're a little poof now. You're my little poof. I'll give you a fucking smooch. Mwah, 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 mwah. Anyway, love you, mate. Take care, and I hope you have sex with a lot more fucking negresses at strip clubs.
Definitely will, my guy. And I'm down for the skiing, by the way.
Oh, and then it starts getting all shitty.
You got that out there.
All right, here's the next voicemail of the week.
Wait, what? Hang on. What was that guy's name?
Oh, hold on. Let me play the very beginning of it.
All right.
Hey, man, it's fucking Hans Bratwurst here.
Hans Bratwurst there.
Hans Bratwurst, call in again, man. You're fucking great. I'll absolutely go skiing with you anytime.
Apparently not Google, because it is a fucking bitch to find your number to call in for voicemails, which might be the reason why you get like 1 or 2. Your show is fucking great.
Oh,
fucking great. But I don't have a Twitter because fuck Twitter. And in viewing your bio from limited access I can't find your number on your Twitter, which is who gives a shit. WGA. I don't remember. Adam, you say it right all the fucking time, and you say it really well. But you also talk to the listener like we're retarded sometimes. Not crippled, retarded. There's a difference. Also, DJ, I fucking love you. There have been episodes that you have made guest appearances on different podcasts. I'm not going to plug other ones. It's not my place. But I have gone back and searched for you on said podcast just to hear you again. You're fucking amazing.
I appreciate the compliment, bud.
I don't know who gives a shit.
Yeah, that is a hell of a compliment, man.
I'm not sure which podcast it is, but I'm honored that somebody would even go through a podcast catalog just to hear me bullshit. So, thank you, sir.
All right, here's the next voicemail of the week. Got one more after this.
Yeah, I just left a voicemail, but I don't know who gives a shit. And so I started listening to your next episode, as you can imagine. I am several episodes behind trying to catch up on fucking awesome content. And you mentioned old school LAN parties. So I have a really drunken story, as I may or may not be a little not quite sober at the moment myself. I was playing Sins of a Solar Empire at a LAN party with 6 friends, total of 6 of us. And this is the first time, or this is when UV Blue became quite prolific, and you can find it in every store and
like
in every
the vodka
store and all that shit. How many years ago that was, whatever. Yeah, who gives a shit about that? So instead of being smart and just doing shots of it or something like that, we literally just poured ourselves glasses of it. And I'm talking like probably 12 to 14, maybe 16 ounce glasses of vodka. Now, granted, it's only 35%, but I didn't bother reading the proof before I made the purchase. So we're an hour and some in, and most of us had finished our glasses, but we've been sitting the entire time all in one little computer room. Well, there was 2 people outside of the room, also connected LAN, but just because there's no room. So I decided to get up and get a refill of UV Blue. And I stand up to turn, to leave the room, and alcohol sometimes hits you when you stand up. CJ, you might not know about this, but Adam, you got it.
Wait. Hold on, I paused it for a second. Yeah, CJ, you've never had that sensation, have you? Where you just stand up after you've been like drinking or something like that, and you realize you're way more fucked up than you thought you were?
No, the closest thing I could compare it to, when I get really fucked up, it's hard for me to drive my chair. Like, I can't drive in a straight line.
You'll fail that sobriety test then, man.
Let me continue on with that voicemail.
I fell flat on my face because it all hit me at once. And I laid on the floor for probably 10 minutes just laughing at the whole situation before I was able to compose myself and get myself a refill, with probably not the smartest thing. Turned out pretty well, though. and I just got another refill of a full glass of UV blue in my cup. So that was a fun night. Fucking loving the show. Don't stop, but make your fucking voicemail number easier to find. The only reason
say it at the beginning of the segment.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Google search algorithm works, but I'll talk to our buddy Ram about getting the phone number in the Twitter bio. I think that would help people.
Yeah, definitely would. All right, here's the last voicemail of the week.
Hey, Captain BlackBread, I want to talk about something.
Hey.
I'm Captain BlackBread here. What do you want to talk about, Captain BlackBread?
As you expect, walking into a Planned Parenthood for exactly what you think I was in there for with my fiance some years back. It was a shitty experience. Like, they treated her all right, but they treated me like straight up garbage. Like, there was nothing but, like, overt feminist shit going on. First, they separate us and have to talk to her to make sure that I didn't force her into it. Okay, that's fine, I guess. You know, I could see many situations where that would happen. And then every turn they got, they were just trying to, like, distance us, you know. The idea of a loving, supporting boyfriend being with his girlfriend in a time that's basically a tragedy for us. So, we're there. She's on the table, and the nurse is, like, pulling out some little apparatus thing. She's like, all right, so I had this apparatus. I'm going to put this in you, and it's a little big, so it's going to hurt a little bit. I look over at it, and I said, oh, that's not so bad. And she said, speak for yourself. I said, I am. She didn't say anything back to that. But I love that. It's like, it's not my fucking fault you'd never had a dick bigger than, like, the circumference of a penny. Like, that thing was not big at all. Like, I'm sure there's fucking micro penises that were probably bigger than that. So, you know what? So fuck you, lady. You're coming to work crabby telling me to speak for myself when I am. Fuck you and fuck your little apparatus, alright? So I remember that today. That was fun. Anyway, yeah. Bullshit, woke feminists in Planned Parenthood. Exactly where they congregate and work. All right.
That's a great voicemail, buddy. I don't know why they call a coat hanger an apparatus, but I guess that's just to seem more fancy.
Oh, shit. I missed some of that. What?
I don't know why they call a coat hanger an apparatus. What's the deal with that?
Okay, I didn't miss much then. All right.
But great voicemail from a guy I've never heard of. You're a great caller. Please call in again. I like this guy.
So, what compelled you to call in about this, Captain BlackBread?
Well, it popped up in my head at some point during the workday. I didn't even know what the hell sparked it. It was just there one day. It was the lady saying, "Speak for yourself," and just being an all-around bitch to me, and I just remembered that. So I don't know. I just started to call in. I tried to. I put that story into I tried sending that story to the Dick Show, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to get on those voicemails, it seems. Maybe you just got to be really quick.
It's fucking crazy that they would even ask you if you forced your girl into getting
You're like, I know this might seem a little rude, but you do seem a little rapey, all right, bro? So we're going to need to talk to her over here, make sure you're not a total pig-faced cretin.
Pig-faced, maybe? No, I don't know. My face is too fucking Jewish to be anything else, actually.
You know what I would have done? I'd be like, I'm going to let you two have a talk. I got to go get my duct tape out of the van.
Damn. Well, actually, that is about, the amount of time we got for this week. And that's our show. So is there anything else you want to plug there, Captain BlackBread?
I mean, aside from my YouTube channel, I mean, I have an Instagram too. I post shit that I'm doing once in a while. Usually just fucking bass playing and shit. I think that's Classic Caveman. That's CLASS1C Caveman.
Okay.
And that's my fucking nickname through the friend group. Fucking came out of nowhere. Other than that, unless you guys have time for a quick little story, it's okay if you don't.
We got a time for a quick one. What you got, man?
All right, so I had a roommate here. I'm gonna be real quick about this. I'll fucking stuff it into probably like 40 seconds. So I had a roommate here, and I had been through 2 roommates before this, and it made me realize that fucking when you are looking for a roommate, the reason why this person doesn't have a place to live is because everybody keeps kicking them out of where they're at. There's something wrong with them 90% of the time. And so the last one we had here, and the reason why we're leaving is we can't fucking afford this place. This roommate was dumb as a fucking rock. She didn't put her food away. It would just go bad, and she would try to eat it that way still. And when we told her about that, she would start throwing. We told her, "Hey, food goes bad. You should put it in the fridge." She thought it applied to non-perishables as well, so she was like stuffing the garbage full of canned goods. That she said, "Oh, it's been there for weeks. It's bad now." It's like, oh fuck. She was. Okay, it gets worse though. She was also a pathological liar. Lied about things that were totally inconsequential. So we had this issue with her where she was wiping her ass and throwing the used toilet paper into the trash next to the toilet. It's fucking gross. You know, we have guests over once in a while. So she fucking does this, and we're like, "Hey, can you please not do that? You can put it in the toilet. It's fine." And then she said, "Oh, it wasn't me." Okay, well, there's only 3 of us here. Who was it? She said, and I shit you not, maybe it was the cats. Said, I'm like, I chuckled.
Dude. What the fuck?
I chuckled. I was like, "Oh, you're serious?" She's like, "Oh, maybe it's the cats are super smart." I don't know. She's fucking staying in a hotel room for a while, just living check to check.
Now, Captain, I fucking love dumb broads because they make me feel better about my crippled ailment. So after the show, why don't you go ahead and give me this bitch's number and we can work something out, because I think we're going to get along.
Oh, God. All right, but she didn't fucking hear it from me. She's gone now. She's long gone, but, you know.
Do it. Don't be
That's a great story, man. To close this out, I have something I would not like to plug, and that's my asshole. I'm not putting anything up there for the foreseeable future.
Damn. Also, be sure to go and help the Rich Dickman show. We kind of need it right now.
Absolutely.
But that is all we got for the week. So, see you.
Stay horny, everyone.
Show later.